if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?
Peace, everyone. Peace. Thank you so much for all the good feedback that's been happening. My little media platform here, and I just want to thank the New Haven Arts Council for setting up this physical for sponsorship, accepting us. So I'm very, very proud of that. It's been a lot of great projects, and we're going to keep going with that. By the time you hear this, the next interview, definitely look out for is Erycka Ortiz, who is here with me right now. And we had a chance to be in the live studio, but unfortunately there was audio event. So now here we are again. And I'm very, very fortunate enough that she has the time to come on and talk to me about her amazing project that she dropped this year. So let's get right into it without further ado.
Hey.
Hello, Erycka. Thank you so much for coming on and taking the time out to talk to me about your project and everything. How is everything?
Been good. I mean, life is busy, but I'm really happy to be here again. You know, you already explained it, but we were in person. Also an amazing experience. You're really, really great. I'm a host, so yeah, I'm really happy to be here again.
Yeah. And you know, it's a learning curve, and definitely nothing that I should be very sad about, but it's okay. Again, you have this amazing project that came out this year, and I definitely am one person that definitely want to say that I enjoy the album, and I also heard good feedback from the people that I showed the album to as well. And yeah, I mean, I love your concept, especially with just starting with the cover. And just shows just how much support and love that you have on that cover, and it's with your sister. You say your sister, right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
It. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I appreciate that. That's why I chose the cover. Like, it was my sister and me, and like it was an intimate trip that we took for each other. With Liza, who was a Black woman based in New Haven and a photographer. So it was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how you were able to make the connection with your you haven't had any video out yet, right? So how were you able to make your connection with the photographer? Is somebody that you came across and you knew for a while?
Mm-hmm. I've known Liza for a little bit now. I met Liza, I think, through doing a bit of like community organizing in like a similar organization. And we just connected. She's an amazing human being. And yeah, we just kind of hit it off. Like, me and my sister love her photography style, and it's like one of the things that we gravitate towards. And it kind of just happened. Liza is always down to shoot if she has the time. So she was like, let's just do something. We thought about it. We planned it out. And during that process, I'm like, this is definitely going to be used for music, just because it just feels honest. It feels like it's capturing me and my sister in a really beautiful way. And, you know, I made this music in my own little corner, but also around a lot of people that I love, especially like my sister. And so it felt perfect.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you were mentioning like you were able to put this album together mostly on your vision and making the means possible to record and stuff like that. That's very, very it's very, very great for an artist to do. Could you talk about what made you wanted to go that route, or was it always something that you envisioned?
Yeah, I mean, like initially, I started like recording or writing music, like really intentionally 5 years ago. But I've always been a writer, and so in that process, you just gotta like figure it out. Like I watched as many YouTube channel like videos that you could find. I like scoured the internet, and I also grew up around like a musical family that just was creating
Hmm.
time. And yeah, I did a lot of it by myself. If you don't know how to do something, figure it out. And so it like really pushed me to be like, what do I want to do? How do I want to do it? And I had a lot of time to experiment and be like fun and creative and like create so many terrible things. But also just to like kind of gnaw my way to get to the good stuff. Um,
Mm,
and it also came out of a place of like means. Like I don't always have the money to be everywhere that I want to be and to do the things that I see in my head, which you know
right.
us as artists can understand that all the, like that struggle all the time. And yeah, so making this album took so long. It took 3 years, because like I was falling in and out of working with other people and then not, using other spaces and then not. And I kind of forgot that I had the ability and the technology and the will to want to figure it out. So I locked in my room for like 4 to 5 months, finished, consolidated, crafted. I mixed the album my own. I didn't produce the album, but I did vocally produce the album by myself. Um,
Mm,
so like that's something that's really important to me.
yeah. And who was your co-producer?
So like it was a lot. It's like a mixture of like
Hmm.
people. But
3 years, I can't imagine.
yeah, like I came across there's like on the deluxe album there's a song called Bad Habits, and that's by someone named Tilak on Tape, who is like really dope and creates like these amazing like alternative R&B underground productions that I would just like fell in love with.
Great song.
Yeah, thank you. There's like a mixture. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I mean, like we talked before. I really loved your Heartbreak Cinema.
Hmm.
Um, very, very good song. How did you come up with that?
Ooh, I like I see things in colors and like patterns and in movement, and so I don't know. I like to create music from a space of like a movie or a scene, something that can feel like it can exist in the world of cinematography. And Heartbreak Cinema kind of felt like that to me. It just felt like the place that I was in my life at that time. Things were just like on replay, and it kind of felt like I was outside of my body watching my own like heartbreak over and over. So when I was writing the song, like it just and I also love movies. Like I just love anything when it comes to like photography, filming, like all of it is really interesting to me. So it just kind of felt like yeah, Heartbreak Cinema. I was writing and it just kind of came out because I write a lot in freestyle, and it just kind of showed up. The first line I think I wrote for the song was like "Da-na-na-na, Heartbreak Cinema," and I remember being like, "Oh, this is cool."
Mm,
So I kind of crafted around that.
mm. Now, do you have a person in mind that it's about, or is it if it's like about every like general scenario for people to get through?
I mean, like,
Not to single out anyone.
no, for sure. Definitely, like, I definitely was a place in my life where I was thinking about something specifically,
Mm,
a feeling, an emotion, a thought, an idea, a person or not. But it kind of grew into like something that felt something I recognized that was repetition throughout a lot of my relationships or whatever that meant,
mm,
whether it was platonic or romantic. I think there's a line in there that says like two left feet dancing all over these memories, and I'm like that was very specific to a situation, but also like kind of how I put my own foot in my mouth sometimes, and how I would just dance around the things that I was trying to make and like kind of mess things up. Um,
mm,
so it's like it also has a sense of accountability to a
mm,
degree, but also like, damn, what's happening here, and why do you keep doing it?
mm.
But not in a way that's shameful, but just in a way that just felt
Right.
introspective and cathartic.
It's human. And like we talked about before, with COVID and stuff, it
Mm-hmm.
just ain't no telling, everything just totally changed. So it's like
It's all different now.
I had to stop the tequila bottles for a minute.
Listen, I wrote a lot about that on the damn album.
Right.
A lot of things.
um what is love? Also, um that was a very awesome, you basically had like testimonies from people,
Mm-hmm.
but to even forget, even to go off, with also giving your own confessions, which people should check out. You have a confession one to start off with, and you end off with confessions two. But for what is love, definitely, like I said, it was very capturing as well for me too, because like even the line that caught me was like, I have never felt what love is like. And I really appreciate like how you just pulled from so many perspectives and stuff. Did that take a while for that to come across, or was it just by accident?
Well, yeah. I mean, one, I'm glad that you could feel any, it could invoke any kind of emotion that makes me happy.
Right.
Um, and yeah, it means a lot. But it kind of came together pretty organically. It didn't feel like it took forever, but it definitely took like a few weeks.
Mm.
Um, I basically like reached out to people that a few people in my life that I really love and really value and just like admire. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay, what is love to you? And I didn't want to put any parameters around it. I wanted it to be as open. So in the message, I'm like, take it as far as you want. Like it was like random. It was like, what are you doing? Can you like send me a voice note? And also to some people who are just like, I don't want any like public anything, like, so it took a lot of like trust too. And I think that's why that what is love is really, really important to me, because people have to trust you enough to want to share something as like, intimate and heartbreaking, and revolutionary as sharing what love means to them.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I think about like some of my favorite albums, right? Like The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill and just the excerpts that she would have on there, right? And just
Right.
so many other pieces, throughout music where it becomes less of just me, but rather a fuller conversation. And music is just like a vessel to have that conversation. But yeah, I think it's probably like one of my favorite things I've ever done. I like listen to it when I need a reminder, and I'll share too, like the ending of the song, when folks were sharing their last sentiments, all ended around like freedom, and like that wasn't
Mm.
planned. And so it's just really special, I feel.
Yeah, that was my next question. The spirit of freedom. We have, there's many different definitions of what freedom truly is to
Mm-hmm.
us. Um, and it made me puzzle about like what is freedom with love, and what does it mean to be free.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, freedom, love, and love it doesn't have to be intimate.
Mm-hmm.
And people, older than us talk about, oh, it's not the same. You guys got access to everything. You could get anybody you want now, with the TikToks and and I'm like, you really think it's like that? Like I just go through a library and
Still humans and people, and things still happen. It's not like all like this.
right. So it was like, what is that in the modern era now with social media around and stuff? And if you want to participate in social media, how can you display love and look for love, and what
Mm-hmm.
kind of community, and are you truly free, or do you feel restricted? I'm just brainstorming just off of
That's real though. I mean, I do think it poses like healthy questions that a lot of people ask us a lot, right? Like, what is freedom, right? Because I think we're constantly, trying to discover it for ourselves, which I think is a good thing.
Mhm.
To me, like freedom is like the connection of mind, body, and spirit. Like they're not separate.
Mm.
I think there's like, it just existentially offers something that like maybe I never had before. And
Mm.
I also don't know like if the human brain can fathom functioning that kind of like eternal kind of love. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
music, when I listen to music, it reminds me of that, like that endless search to like define and discover that kind of love and freedom. And I don't see them as separate for me. So I think,
Mm.
yeah, I think freedom is whatever you want it to be.
You made it sound so much easier, and I just made it sound so complicated.
I don't think
Like,
so. I don't think so. I don't think that, like, I think it just begs questions, and I think that's the
right.
whole this whole thing is like asking more questions and seeing where it leads us.
And is there an age where you finally figure that out? Because
I don't
a
know.
lot of people say that at your age or grow, you're gonna
I
change your
never
opinion one day.
the age that I am in my life before. Like I'm the first time.
Right. No, but yeah, it's really really great. I mean, a
Mhm.
lot. I mean, I would love to go through all the tracks, but like there's just a lot of greatness that I see, and that's why I can't wait to see what else you're going to do. Because if this is like this is your first album, right? Because you were just doing singles,
Yeah.
so I'm just like, God, what else you got in mind? Just off of you know, um, Connecticut, we have some really great artists here, and I do consider you one of them. And I hope that you know the rest of the world, just like how much they want to talk about New York and LA,
Mhm.
look over here to the side you think is the country. Because
Yeah. So
check it
much,
out.
so much beauty and talent, and I think, especially in New Haven, because that's where I live. Like
Mhm,
there's so many things happening, like even just outside of like music, but just creatives in general. I think of like
mhm,
Christina, who owns Soulful Threads, right? Like a black-owned vintage
mhm,
shop, right? That's at
mhm,
Shops on Yale, right? I think about like Trey Moore, Amar, Esmer,
mhm,
there's Newe. There's so many artists who are doing so many things. Indigo, like
mhm.
I'm just such a big fan of everyone's work. And yeah, people are really sleeping on Connecticut, and also like there are people who are really making big waves,
Yeah,
in this side of of our little region, and I'm really proud of everybody.
it's a small state. It's not hard to find.
It's not
I
it's not hard to miss you there.
mean, we're not like Rhode Island, which is like, how is that a state? But anyway,
Hey,
no, no offense, Rhode Island.
Island so much.
um, cathedrals are burning. I
Yeah,
love that name, by the way. Like, how did you just come up with that name for the song before we even just talk about the basics? Like,
cathedrals are burning, similar to Heartbreak Cinema came when
mhm,
I was like just listening to the production, and like I'm in my studio right now, and I was just going through lyrics and melodies that were coming naturally, and I just remember being like, dun, 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 cathedrals are burning, and I just like stopped. I'm like, that's the name of the song.
mhm.
So that's how it came about.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
And what were you trying to like, get across with that concept?
Yeah, I believe firmly that like when you listen to production, sometimes the songs are already written.
Mm,
It's just a matter of are you the messenger or not? Um,
mm. I
and
like
and
that. That's deep.
yeah, and then that in that space, I was like, I was feeling things and like already coming in kind of like with some hard stuff in my head, and cathedrals are burning is like just kind of like things are like tumbling, burning around you, and I kind of wanted it to be dramatic and like memorialized in a way, right? Like cathedrals are a very memorialized, prominent thing that is
Mm,
understood, and like it burning down and kind of crashing would be like a major event, and that's kind of what I was talking about in the song felt like, just this major event just burning and crashing, but also kind of like how religion felt very similar to my relationships, like a lack of freedom, lack of choice, lack of ability to just define oneself in an entity of a thing. Um,
mhm,
and also like I think of this lyric from Halsey all the time, where she's like, if you want to go to heaven, you should like, you know, me tonight.
yeah.
And it's really provocative, and I think like it just like Badlands is an amazing album, and it stuck with me, and I felt similar in a way where it was like I experienced a sense of like existential spirituality and a love that felt freeing, but then it just so I kind of wanted to mirror some of those like those themes.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that's dope. Again, very dope concept. I really feel like this is a really good, solid R&B album. Would you say R&B? I don't want to ever,
No,
unless you were experimenting into
no,
soul. Or,
okay. I mean, like if you experience it in that way, that's I just I create and whatever comes out comes out.
Mm,
I definitely like see myself as like an alternative artist, but like not confined
mm,
to what we decide alternative is. I think we all have
right.
ideas of what one thing could be over the other, but I say that just because I think I experiment, I have fun, I play, and like you'll hear all the inspirations in the album. So
Right.
R&B is like my life. So of course,
Mm.
might be an essence of it in here for sure.
And have you been singing for a long time, like in church or?
Yeah. So I grew up Baptist,
Mhm.
and I never sang in like the choir for my church, but I almost did. But I grew up
Mm.
around singers in my family, so I was always singing
Yeah.
in church in proximity, to worship and home. I did chorus in school, so singing has always surrounded me.
Yeah, I've noticed from because I come from a Christian background that like musicians that come from the church, singers, and they are like you don't really notice, but there's a lot of elite levels that come out of that
I agree.
congregation. Like
Something about it. I know
it's really is unique.
I'm not Baptist anymore, to say the least, and
Hmm.
just like for personal transitions and other things. But
Right.
like, I very much appreciate like what I learned and what was offered to me, and like I still keep it with me. And like music is especially one of them. Like I still listen to like if it's on certain worship songs from particular artists because it
Hmm.
just makes you feel something. Like there's a way that they communicate through music that I think is genuinely so spiritual and beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Who do you have in mind of when you think of art? Because you mentioned Halsey, who was,
Mhm.
I feel like Halsey is slept on right now, but like I pay attention to Halsey, so you ain't gotta worry about that with me. But who else inspires you? Like when you think of like artists that if you met them right now, you're like, oh girl, you don't even know what you've done to me.
There's so many. Like I listen to literally so much music. I think, and from my, I don't use Spotify, so don't kill me.
Mhm. I
From
use
my
title. So.
okay music rewind, I listen to like 126,000 minutes of music, and
Mm,
like worth almost 4,000 artists. So like I just love listening to music all the time.
mm,
Like there's an artist called Lizzie McAlpine. She
mm.
makes a lot of like folky indie singer songwriter pop music, and her lyricism I think is just really beautiful. I listen to so much R&B. Leanne LaHavis is one of my favorite artists of all time.
Mm,
Her self-titled album, got me through like one of the hardest periods of my life.
mm.
Um, so she really inspires me. Um, yeah, so many, so many.
Music didn't exist, what would you be doing right now?
I think I know I will still be creating in some way,
Mm,
like in some facet. And I think creation, being an artist, looks like many different things. Like architects, I think nurses are like artists to me. Like you are connecting and saving and helping, and there's like a science and behind. You know what I mean? So
right.
I'd be doing something creative. It's super vain and like vague. Not vain. It's super vague, but something. I have no idea. Maybe a teacher.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like creating is literally just what humans are.
Yeah.
We can't be nothing but creators. I feel like we are all creators. And in different ways, like you explained, even just being a nurse and stuff like that. For instance, like I hate my partner doesn't like when I talk about her, but this is a great example. Like she is very, 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 very like creative when it comes to knowing how to draw and like and she doesn't even need to like practice drawing. She just got it like that.
Yeah.
and she could like make makeshift things out of anything. She could make like a statue out of wood, any type of material. She'll do like little mini statues
Beautiful.
just because she feel like it, like a little snowman or something. And it's like the detailing is insane, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I think just to like wake up and do a thing and then like you're like, that's it. Like, what do you mean that's it? You just did
That's it.
It's wild to me.
I can't draw for shit. I mean, I can rap, but Jesus, draw.
No, like that definitely skipped me.
And imagine if we had that skill, like our
Mhm.
album covers would be like some craziness
Mhm.
and stuff like that. You'd be like, oh, yeah, I just felt like doing that. It'll be
No.
insane. I'll have like the baddest logo because my
Yo,
logo looks corporate.
have one. Like I need one.
Right?
But I
Y'all
think
don't know
that's
what y'all got out there.
I think that's also why I stopped putting like like back in the day, so annoying, but like people would like
Yeah.
have something on their album covers, like your name, the title, like, and I think I've noticed that a shift that like that happens less and less now. And I'm like, thank God, because like I don't have the skills to do that anyway.
Right. And then you get so jealous when you see a musicianal colleague of yours with some badass cover. You're just like,
Yeah, especially I think mine is specifically when they're performing live and I see like their background and like the video that you have kind of like on loop throughout your set.
mm,
And then your logo, I'm like, damn, I really, really want that, but I don't have a good logo.
mm.
We'll soon come, but maybe with the new music I'm gonna drop this week, I'll figure it out.
Uh-oh, what did I just hear? I just heard new music is on the way. Oh shoot. All right.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm excited.
Is it an EP or is it one single or
It's a single. It will be attached to something in the future.
mm,
But I'm putting it out now because my artist name is officially changing, and so
mm,
I want people to like, listen to the music, and experience it through the new name change.
and is this a you know difference in path or change in and you feel like your music is different from what initially was your name first as Erycka for your artist name?
Um, I think it's all evolving and growing.
Mm, nice.
I think also like my like Erycka is like my real name, and
Mhm,
so I don't know. It's like it's been attached to like a lot of like business things and this and that,
mhm,
and like, okay, so some of it kind of just felt like a commodity at times. But
mm,
also like Rosalie, which is the name I'm gonna be using moving forward, is my middle name, and
mm.
that just I don't know, something about it feels like really intimate and inviting, and kind of like a new chapter. So I'm excited for it, and this song is like I think one of my favorite things that I've written in a
Mm.
while. So I'm excited.
Rosaline is such a like a poetic name. I like names like that where it's like a note kind of way.
Yeah,
It's
thank
like
you.
it
That's kind of
has
why I
meaning. You
feel
feel
that way.
me?
Yeah, I feel that way. Like it just feels there's like my whole name like has a really important meaning to like me and my family, but like just
Hmm.
artistically, when I started writing, I was gonna put out a poetry book, and my pen name was gonna be Rosalie.
Mm.
So I think that's what started the shift. I was like, oh, this feels really like connected to my art right now, actually. So that's the one I'm gonna go with.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Lastly, your song Bulletproof. Um, and it was a segue into Confessions too. Um,
Mhm.
is this is so what was the concept? I'll be quick because we only got like a minute and a half, but what was the concept of like Bulletproof? It was really really nice to listen to, by the way.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bulletproof. It's funny. I don't like listen to my music all the time, but like me and
Mhm,
my sister were actually just listening to it yesterday.
mhm,
Um, and yeah, Bulletproof is just it's just a reminder that like I'm a person. I'm not like an object and not an idea. Like things hurt, and I think I don't want to pretend that they don't hurt. And a part of that pretending is like what led me to be in a place of like numbing and disconnection. And so it kind of just felt like hey, please stop. Actually, like I need all of this to stop.
Mm.
Yeah, it was kind of like a plea. There's also like an ode to some really hard stuff that I experienced too, like some really heavy stuff. So yeah, it was just like a reminder, like, I know you say I'm strong, but like I'm not bulletproof. So yeah, I wanted to just kind of end the album on a note of like this big journey we went on, and like I need a second to breathe, and like I deserve it, so I'm gonna claim it.
And everybody, especially people of color and fellow and our fellow LGBTQ people, like we definitely need that advice right there. Isn't that the song where you also had the line where you're saying, "I know you think I'm strong, but I'm not."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, yeah. See, like that's such a good, like that made me feel like I was able to like go outside and conquer. It inspired me. It made me feel like, especially I had a very awful day that day too because I was at work and I'm always having drama at work. So
Well, I'm really glad you were able to feel something that made you like, feel connected to yourself and your feelings. Like that's really, really powerful. So
yeah, I can't wait to see what else you're going to do. I really feel like that you are going to be so impactful. It's really coming out, and I really enjoy your sound.
Thank you.
Really, nobody but not ever say anything bad about you. I would defend you. Tag me. I will be in there on that thread.
Oh God, whatever is a day, I will call you.
Like here's my crew. Handle that. They'll argue with you.
I just wish freedom for all of us.
Yep. Well, Erycka, I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking with me, and it's definitely taking the time out to come on because that's so awesome, and I'll definitely love to have you back on when you drop your next big thing and everything because this is really something awesome. You're totally welcome to come on the show anytime. Just give me a call. Yeah. And where could people find you lastly before we head out?
Yeah, my Instagram is signed Rosalie, and then come Friday, music will just be Rosalie. So Rosalie, but the I has like a accent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get that link and I'll make sure I put it in the description for everybody. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I have a very, really good day, Erycka. And everybody out there, have a good day too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Blank period, yeah. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?